Welcome everybody, and good afternoon. We have a Hindu priest en route, but in view of the fact that some of you have to do other things today, we're going to begin with the program. The program is a celebration, and therefore it need not be overly solemn. If you have some humor in you and you feel it, express it during your presentations. And I say presentations because the intention is to first and foremost allow the family to give you their remembrances, and then you will be invited to come forward and say whatever you'd like to about what you recall about Lachmi. I met Dale and Lachmi and the boys, their sons, in Kobe in Japan over 40 years ago. Dale was there as the area manager for Air India, and I followed the family's progress since then, and I'm very proud to say that we've stayed friends ever since. The quite remarkable person who was Lachmi was known to all of you, and I remember her most of all as someone passionately engaged in living. Her mind was keen and curious. She was sympathetic and generous in her relationships, and she had a personality that drew people to her. As you know her, you will understand what that means. Her sense of humor was very much in tune with my own, and I loved it. And I miss her. The plan for the hour is simple. After the puja, when the priest arrives, the family, as I said, will come forward and, in their own words, say what they remember, and then you will also be invited to come. After that, Anjali has prepared a lovely video presentation, which we'll watch, and then we'll enjoy refreshments. That's it. And we'll try and get that done efficiently, so that if you have onward appointments, you can make them.
So
that's all.
We're not waiting for the Hindu priest.
I beg your pardon, we're not waiting. That's right. I remind you, we can start right now, and the first speaker will be Dad.
I'm very happy that you joined us to celebrate Lachu's memories. Most of us say in this small brochure which Anjali has prepared, I'll add a few things to that. We went to Spain in 1965, where I was posted manager for Spain, Canary Islands, Portugal, and North Africa and West Africa. There's a large area. I did very well for her in She was a great help. She learned 3 things from India. One was yoga, other was Indian cooking, third was culture of Bharatvarsha. She did it very well. And luckily, Maharaj of Jaipur was appointed as ambassador to Spain, and his wife Maharani was very fond of Lachu, and they used to eat regularly. Actually, Maharani introduced us to nobility, which that time was hero, but now zero. We were introduced to Gianfranco, King Juan Carlos, and son of the Tali, and the names. And we had a great time in Spain. And from that, we could develop business while in India. Then I opened an office in Barcelona, one in Las Palmas. Then I was transferred to Hong Kong. Hong Kong I knew very well. I lived there in 50s, and there was a large Indian community, Sindhi community, and very prosperous. She always joined American Women's Club of Madrid, Hong Kong, Japan, everywhere to get entry and what we call in Spain enchufe. Means you put the plug, the current comes, and she made connections. And this connection paid their a lot. Then we are transferred to Japan, and in Japan she got the same thing, and she learned new thing, that is Ikebana International. She mastered those skills, and then she was first Indian lady, non-American, non-Japanese ladies who selected her to be the president of Ikebana International. She opened, inaugurated several shows, and then we were transferred to Calcutta. In Calcutta, she established Pushpa Bitan, that means in Japanese flower arrangement, and she had the success, is still living, and that's the greatest memory we have with us. Next came to Calcutta. She immediately contacted Mother Teresa and became friends with her, wrote for her, and then we were transferred to France, and that was the beautiful city, Paris. We lived there. She did two functions. One was celebrating movie Gandhi, which was and directed by Richard Attenborough, and they all came to Paris, and we had dinner for 200 people at Maxime. The first time allowed non-French cuisine to be served there. And I'm sure my nephew's wife, Lata, was with us. Lata, you were there? Nice of her. So we had a nice time there, and then she had moved on, and then we came here, and she got involved with the community. Her friends from West Henderson, they are here. I thank you all. Especially Anita and Lindy, who visited her regularly while she was sick. But with all that, I said, Mama, I love you. I'm living, and I'll always remember you, and a wonderful time to have. I could sit and write a book, but I'll try to make it possible. Thank you so much. And thank you.
Richard, you're next. Protocol. That's a lot of pages there.
I don't know, do I need the mic?
Yes.
We're not using it. Okay, everybody can hear me in the back?
Yes.
That's great. Well, I am Lakshmi's son, if you don't know me. And I want to thank everybody here today to celebrate and honor Mom. she would have been so pleased to see that all of you could be here today to share in this with us. She is, of course, somewhere, and I feel her. For the past 6 years for me, it has been the long goodbye. But every hour, minute, moment I spent with her was precious, very precious. We were so blessed with your all continued support, well wishes, and the prayers during this time. And please continue the well wishes and the prayers. I may not have been the ideal son, but my mom is the ideal mother. That's the priest. Where are you, man? Hallelujah. Here. Good timing. Well, we wanted some humor, so there's the humor, right? Mom was the ideal mother who taught me much to mention, but several things do come to mind about her. She was classy, real classy lady. She was full of charm, elegance, and warmth, and elevated those around her with clever intelligence and worldly experience. Yes, worldly experience. She was also a passionate debate partner. I'm sure many of you here today can attest to this. As a voracious reader of news, books, magazines, she was always informed and kept up with most current events. I have many memories of her impressive verbal skills. During our many political debates, 99% of the time she would be correct because she had all her facts together and understood each subject completely. So whenever I would have a debate with her, I would have to do my fact checking to make sure that whatever I said, was true. And in those days, we didn't have Google or internet and that kind of stuff. So the debate, if you had to give any reference, you'd have to go to the library or pick up a magazine or a newspaper or something or the other to get your facts together. There was one debate that stands out that she had once with an prominent Indian constitutional lawyer, who some of you might know who I'm talking about, and I might not mention his name. But he's a prominent constitutional lawyer, and she had a debate with him about a Filipino dictator.
Say the name Ram Gidwani.
Okay, all right, got it. He named out in the open. No, but she had a debate with him about Ferdinand Marcos, who was then the dictator of the Philippines. And they debated. The debate actually ended up in a tie. So nobody actually won that debate. But then a few weeks later, she got a clipping out of a newspaper or a magazine, and she sent it to him in India. But she never heard back. So at that time it was the debate was, but what she sent to him on the clipping proved that she was right. Proved that she was right. So he never responded, but he visits USA, frequently, and whenever he does, he comes to the Chicagoland area. And they met, and she goes, I told you I was right. And she was right, and this guy had no answer to give to her. She was a really good debater. She knew her facts. Mom also lived very proudly. Some folks would speak negatively about India, pointing out its poverty, its pollution, beggars, homeless. But she was always quick to come back and tell these people, saying, tell me of any developed country that does not have these problems. Eventually, these folks could not, reply to her because, she was right. All developed countries have these issues, but India, of course, maybe has a little bit, more of them, but they would never be able to, argue with her on that. Eventually, she got some of those skeptics to visit India, and sometimes she even personally accompanied them. I got a card here from a couple that visited India when she was there, and I just want to read a little bit about it, of how she was able to, have people come to India and really love the country and culture. And so it goes. I have many fond memories of her. The best was when we arrived in Bombay and I could not sleep. I decided to go for a walk along the water, which is Marine Drive, which is around the area that we have our home. And who do I see but Lachmi? She took me back to your apartment, and then I relaxed and we had a nice welcome to the city of Bombay. I used to feel sorry for her when we had some heated discussions. She sat there with all the charm and grace. She was blessed. We always settled on our differences and enjoyed the remainder of our evening. So this was from a couple that she actually convinced that went to India and actually fell in love with India. Mom was also a worldly person. She lived in Hyderabad, Manila, Cebu City, Delhi, Bombay, Madrid, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Kobe, Osaka, Calcutta, Paris, and finally settling down in the Chicagoland area. In every place she lived, worked, and visited, she always left a lasting footprint and passed along pieces of Indian culture as she knew it. She will live in our memories, in our hearts, forever, and I will always be extremely proud to call myself the son of Lachmi Gidwani.
Not me.
Lachmi Gidwani. I know, but you're still here. So, and of course, Dio Gidwani. Thank you, and Shanti all. Adios. Welcome, Matuk.
So, I guess you could hear AJ, so you can hear me.
Yes.
Dear friends and family, I'm so happy that all of you are here today. Your presence just comforts us. I just want to say, starting, Mom was a strong person. Living with 3 Gidwani males, you had to be. A lot of testosterone in the house. Mom held her own and kept us in check. At the same time, Mom was caring, compassionate, and kind. Very vibrant person and curious. Every country we visited, she would go off the beaten path to find the locals and, not the tourist part. Mom grew up in the Philippines and told us stories about the Japanese occupation in the Philippines between 1942 and 1945, and how her life was spared by the Americans. Dad and Mom met when they were both applying for a job at Air India. Dad got the job, but together they represented our national carrier. They were true ambassadors for Air India all over the world. From their first posting in Madrid, Spain, to their final posting in Paris, they just loved the airline. Anyone who would badmouth Air India, they were in trouble. There were people who would badmouth Air India that Dad helped because they wanted excess baggage or this, and they would then badmouth, and Dad would say, well, I just helped you there. Why are you bad-mouthing Air India? So, Mom had the great ability of bringing people of different cultures together wherever you went. You know, being government-owned, Air India pay was so-so, but the perks were awesome. Mom would teach Indian cooking and yoga to supplement her income and just keep our household secure. Driving a car was not Mom's strong suit. I remember Dad would send us to India in the summer and have Mom's driving lessons set up in Bombay in a Fiat stick shift. Well, I was in the back seat with my cousin, and we would be giggling in the back because she couldn't get it out of first gear. So, thanks, Dad, for those lessons, but you know, maybe in a Japan automatic car. You know, one more thing I remember of Mom is, you know, she was never a fan of taking medicines. She believed in just natural healing of the body. If she ever got a fever, she said, oh, you know, the body just needs rest and to recuperate. On the other hand, Dad, he'd be popping pills, you know, right from the start. So, and you know, she was never a fan of air conditioners, and she just wanted natural air. That's all. And you know, through her yoga, I think her breathing, everything, her vitals were so good, even to the end. You know, we had on December 2nd, she was taken to the ICU, and we thought that would be the day. And her vitals were very bad that day. But you know, a few days later, her vitals came back to normal. And she started talking, and she was eating. So December 9th, she was eating, talking, and you know, we thought, wow, this is going to be, you know, maybe a few more weeks or months. But December 10th, 10:45 p.m., I got the news. It was hard for me. I love you, Mom. And thank you, everybody.
Hello, thank you all for being here. My name is Nikhil. I am the grandson of Lachmi. I want to say I appreciate our moments together. They were amazing. My parents split up when I was very young, so my time with her was very, very valuable. I learned how to cook. She taught me how to roll chapati. She taught me how to roll loli and make dokla, masala dosa. Like, I am so grateful for those memories. And like, I put that into my cooking every time I cook. So I just want to keep it short and sweet. There's a lot of things she used to tell me when I was young. I would walk around sometimes and say, I'm bored. But she said, no, you're not bored. You just gotta find a way to entice your mind. So I took that and I really just, every time I thought I was bored, I would find a way to inspire myself. And that made me think of my grandmother. So I will pass that on to you. If you're ever bored, that just means you need to inspire yourself. You need to entice your mind, maybe broaden it a little bit, learn something new. Thank you for being here.
So, Nikhil beat me to the punch. I wanted to say that she was an excellent cook, and she taught me so many dishes that I'm so proud of. I wanted to say a lot of them because I'm so proud of them. But for me, Mom's spirit is still here with me. I feel her around me still. Mom has always been the highest inspiration to me. She is a very wise lady and has constantly mentored me. I believe she's still watching from up above and checking on things. I miss her amazing laugh. It was that contagious kind of laughter. I know her as an elegant lady that loves to have a good time, and I believe she's enjoying now with her very good group of friends up above. She treated me like a best friend. She took me to all her functions and all her very good friends. I met them all here. I met everybody. We always had a very good time together. She would take me to the Filipino restaurant because I was born in the Philippines and she happened to live there for a few years. So she wanted me to feel, eat comfort food and feel at home. So we would go there, and she said her favorite dessert was halo-halo, which I don't know if you guys know, but it's a pretty difficult, not that easy for everybody to eat that, but she was very nice about it. She had me in her kitchen a lot, and she taught me how to prepare lots of yummy food. Like she taught Nikhil, she taught me chicken katsu, Chinese, that mapo tofu, Japanese curry. I mean, she has her own version of saltimbukka. I don't know if you know, we try stuff in the restaurant. She's like, I can make it better. So she would do it, and then she would teach me, and she really did succeed in that. And of course, Sai Baji and Cindy Curry, which was the wife thing that I had to learn right after I married Anil. She made everything so simple for me. The most complicated things she would just be like no stress. She would take all the stress away. She was a very wise woman, and I admired and loved her very much. I will cherish her in my heart for always. She was a great teacher, a remarkable woman. And she told me, she would, later on in her years, she told me, we cannot live forever. We cannot live. I'm like, no way, no, you're not going. You're here where we are. You're going to live forever. But she was preparing me because she knew it would be very difficult for me because we were so close and we did so much together. And I know she said that, but for me, she will always live, always for eternity in my heart. I love her, and I miss her.
Hello everybody, I am, sorry, hard to go after everyone else. I'm Lachmi Gidwani, granddaughter of Lachmi thoughts. So it's by an unknown author. It goes, feel no guilt in laughter. She'd know how much you care. Feel no sorrow in smiles that she is not here to share. You cannot grieve forever. She would not want you to. She'd hope that you could carry on the way you always do. So talk about the good times and the way you showed you cared. The days you spent together, all the happiness you shared. Let the memories surround you, a word someone may say will suddenly recapture a time, an hour, a day, that brings her back as clearly as though she were still here, and fills you with the feeling that she is always near. For if you keep those moments, you will never be apart, and she will live forever, look safely within your heart. And I just think this poem really expresses her thoughts, because she was always smiling all through the end. She was always smiling and making us laugh. And
Okay.
okay. I just want everyone to celebrate and be happy, even though I'm crying right now. There's always happiness that she brought to us and will continue to bring to us, even though she's not here. With all the memories we had with her, they'll bring us happiness from forever. Thank you.
You have to look after me now.
Anybody else oil or is the priest? Priest and then the rest. Oh yeah, because he has to leave. I think you can you announce the others after the priest?
So we're just going to do a brief puja now, and after that, if anyone wants to come forward and say something, that would be great. And so after the puja, if anyone come forward, and then after that, we have a little video presentation, and then we'll have refreshments after that.
Yeah. That you want to do that in puja? No.
this last 32 years. I used to do every year a New Year puja, New Year Day in his office. My father used to do in 1985. And then my father passed away in 1997. Since then, I'm doing this pujas in there every year to make them good business and good, and it's a good family. And mother, she always waiting for me for a good food, dokla and samosa and potato vada. We used to make, my wife used to make it our home, and we take there for this evening party. And before few years back, when I was doing the puja, when I finished the puja, and then she told me, Batok, my nickname is Batok. Batok, I want to marry this guy. Okay, can you perform the marriage ceremony? Okay, I will perform. Then, in Thanksgiving, we perform here, that marriage ceremony. And her mind was so clean. She was doing everything. She do some peras and everything, pujas and everything. She was so nice. And we take her to this lunch, and she was so happy that today I'm married. And she was very nice lady, and my family also always remember, So we are doing this puja to give her the peaceful life, happy life, and we'll give Sraddhanjali. Everybody will give the flower, and then you offer we'll do the puja for Lord Vishnu to give her the new, wherever she is, give the good and happy life and bless their family. Om Sriman Mahagarathipate Namo Lakshminarayanaभ्यां Namo Maheshwarabhyam Namo Om Vani Hiranyagarbhabhyam Namo Matu Pitu Sarvabhyo Namo Ishtatabhyo Namo Om Kuldevtabhyo Namo Samdetabhyo Namo Sarveshvara Brahmanebhyo Namo Namo Punyam Punyam Dirghaya Namo Krichagadasya Gavilogi Jagaranaga Lambodarasya Vilogi Janasho Ganadhipate Dumbraketu Ganalaksho Bhalchandra Gajanana Dvadaseta Ramaniya Pate Jagavi Vidyarambhe Vyaje Praveshe Nilumetala Sangrame Sankate Seva Vignatayate Avitizatam Siddhatam Pujito Sureshwara Sarva Vignana Svenganadhipate Namah Vakartunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samprabhu Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakare Suradas Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Vaishara Guru Sakshat Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Brahmanandam Paramasudam Kevalam Jnanamutim Tadvaditam Gagaratam Tattvamasadilatam Ekam Nityam Vimanavatanam Sarvadi Saksibhutam Bhavadetam Trinaretam Sadgurum Tam Nama Om Shanti 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 Swam Guru Saturday Mangala Samade Posamade System Ramtito Amase Vishnu Rasi Vishnu Rasi Evam Guru Dham Namo Tubhyam Avatajo Namo Vishnu Devo Chaturjaya Namaha Saturday Mangala Mase Posamade Sastayam Vibhosito Satrapo Trasya Retyatam Pujanasido Vishnu Purusha Purusena Shotata Pujanam Chatari Sikhanam Chandanam Dinyam Gandhajya Sumanoram Vidyam Suraseshtam Chandanam Pratigayam Nama Chandanam Akshatacha Suraseshta Kalpuma Kasuru Vidam Mayana Vakta Grana Paramyaksathanam Tamarmayam Dini Malik Jadi Upaya Rutani Rutani Bertiga Rutani Lucia Nikasini Butam Namo Sukema Om Jagna Jagna Agency Deva Sani Zamani Pradhamanya Deva Deva Santi Deva Super Deva Kalyanam Deva Deva Sabta Nisa Sabta Sadam Vishnu Vishnu Bhamina Ukarato Chaturje Vishnu Om Vishnu Chandrama Toja Chilo Suryo Jaya Surya Surya Namo Subyama Devi Surya Namo Vishnu Subyama Yani Kani Jabhavani Vishnu Kani Dhamma Surya Yavnei Jaganamai Janti Deva Kani Dhamma Prathmanya Kiranatam Vishnu Satya Santi Deva Nanasya Pushpaim Samarpayami Very good. I'm doing this prayer. Jesus, peaceful life and happy life. It is for language in Gujarati. So Then we'll put it on the tower nearby a photograph or here. हे नाथ जोड़ी हाथ प्रेम सौ मागिए शरणु मळे साचु तमारु हे हृदयथी मागिए जे जीव आप्यो आप पास चरणमा अपनावजो परमात्माए आत्माने शांति साची आपसो परिकर्म ना योगे करी जे कुल माते अवतरे त्या पूर्ण प्रेमे ओ प्रभुजी आपनी भक्ति करे लक्ष 84 बंधनों ने लक्ष मालय कापजो परमात्माए आत्मने शांति साची आपजो सुख संपत्ति सुविचारने सत्कर्मो लई वारसो जन्मो जन्म सत्संगति कीर्तार पार उतार जो आलोक ने परलोक मा तव प्रेमी रग रग व्याप जो परमात्माए आत्मा ने शांति साची आप जो मळे मोक्ष के सुख सर्वमा आशा उरे एवी नथी छे देह दुर्लभ मानवीनो योग सांधव प्रेमथी साचू बतावी रूप श्री भगवान हृदये स्थापजो परमात्माए आत्माने शांति साची आपजो ओम विष्णुवे नमः ओम विष्णुवे नमः ओम विष्णुवे नमः बतावी दिया फूल मूकी देजो वन बाय वन तेरा सूची पर here.
Here. Either that.
Yeah.
Just leave 7.
Yes. Now you just परमेश्वर पुष्पांजलि समर्पयामि
Pretty much, we've rounded up everything over here, but if anybody would like to say something, I yield the floor to you. Don't feel shy. Yes, please, don't feel shy.
Especially for you.
You want to like?
Used to speeches. I said I'm used to speeches.
Okay, good.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Nalini Thakrar. For those of you who don't know me, I am the daughter of Diyal Uncle's eldest sister. God has His own ways of uniting all of us. And even though we all missed out for some time, the last 6 months with Aunt, and I always called her Aunt, I never took her name, and Uncle, Vijay, Anil, Anjali, Zareen, and Nikhil have been amazing. She loved her kids, and even in her frame of mind that she had, she always, as I entered, would have a toothpick in her hand and say, Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. Then she would start to say her birth date. Then she would start to say where Vijay's birth date and where Vijay was born. By the way, I call him Vijay because that's how we know him. Anil's birth date and when he was born. She was an amazing lady, and one of the things I remember as a child, of course I remember the wedding, I was there. She was the first educated aunt that came into our family on my mother's side. And so there was a lot of bond between her and me as I was growing up, studying medicine, went to college. And later on, Anil moved here and stayed with us and with my brother in Wilmette, and that's how they came to live in Wilmette actually. And prior to that, when they were in Paris, my husband and me and my kids visited them, and we had an amazing time. As everybody knows, Uncle had a lot of perks, so occasionally we did take advantage of them, right, dear?
Yes. A family first.
Auntie, I cherish all the good times we had together. Do not worry about dear Uncle and Vijay, Anil and family. We shall be there for them until we meet you again. Goodbye. Thank you.
My name is Purnima, and I joined Travel in 95. But I was recruited as a family member since then, and I have worked with them for a while, and I was somewhere else. Always Mrs. Gidwani was very nice to me, as you all know, and I lost my husband 2 months later, and then she came, when I went back to work, she came and she gave me a mug, and it said, hang in there. And I still have it. And then she gave me a piece of paper, and on that it was written that God give me courage to accept what I cannot change, and give the wisdom and to know the difference between right and wrong. I still have that slip in my mandir, and I really cherished her all the time. Every Tuesday, she calls me 7 o'clock. Purnima, don't bring lunch. So I used to have, cherished her meals with her, and she helped me with my daughter's wedding plans and all that. And as everybody has said, she was always a big strength to all of us, especially me. And I'm so glad I had cherished my days with her and my life with her, and she'll be always in my heart. And I think she lived the way we have it, film career, which is like we all are, to the God that we are all God's people. We will may us live a good life and good path and leave the bad things. So this is one liner I want to sing that goes like, "Hey Malik tere bande hum, ऐसे हो हमारे करम, went happily. I think everybody says she smiled. So, Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Well, I think nobody wants to say anything, so I think we'll go with the presentation. Anybody else?
Does anybody else want to say something?
In the stillness, I can hear you speak. You're still an inspiration. Can it be that you are my forever love, and you are watching over me from above?
That's funny.
Here inside my dream, and is it fate? Or how can we see as my heart holds you? Just one beat away, I cherish all you gave me every day. 'Cause you are forever love, watching me from above, and I believe that angels breathe, and that love will live on and never
Yeah, well, this concludes this part of it, but we have food, refreshments that we serve shortly. Yeah.